Romney has called for the self-deportation of undocumented immigrants. What message does that send to the Latino community in the United States?
Well, I think the question, can I reframe it? What does it send to Americans around the country, not just Latinos, and people around the world? No country has ever deported 11 million people. Those 11 million people have 5 million citizen children. The idea that we would create conditions, make them so deplorable, so miserable that all these people self-deported is beyond the pale. And it's one of the reasons why this party has gone so far to the right. They're losing the mainstream on issues like this. But it's not just the self-deportation of 11 million people. They've also said that the DREAM Act, that going to fight for your country, that going to college to better yourself and contribute more to the country, in a country that the only country that you know, that the Dreamers would somehow be a handout. So that kind of thinking, it's not just, I don't think it's just offensive to Latinos. I think it's offensive to most Americans and most people who care about human rights and civil rights and want to reward hard work and people that want to be a part of the great American dream.
Are you going to meet with the DREAM activists who are on a nationwide bus tour right now?
I hope so.
They're
I'm with the Dreamers all the time. I stand up for them. I speak out on their behalf whenever I can. I don't know if I'll be able to be in the city when they come to LA, but I certainly wish that have historically been supported on a bipartisan basis. These aren't proposals that were from Democratic think tanks. They came from both Democratic and Republican think tanks. I know because when I was president of the Conference of Mayors, we focused on many of those same proposals going to the same think tanks, wanting to get something on a bipartisan basis.
Can you talk about Citizens United as the chair of the DNC and how it's affected the 2012 race?
Well, Jesus, these super PACs with super smears, anonymously giving money to a level I don't think we've ever seen in the history of any campaign anywhere. There's something wrong with people that wealthy being able to buy an election, and I think I'm hoping that after this election, no matter what happens, we're going to take a good, long, hard look at fixing that broken situation.
But do you have to play within this?
Well, that's what I said. It's a scary prospect because we don't have that kind of money flowing into super PACs, and we're going to be outspent without question. But I think we're going to have the most intensive ground effort ever. We're going to knock on doors and talk to as many voters as possible, and I think we're going to win this election.